On this tape, we're going to do a demonstration of Gestalt therapy, and we will focus on, what I'd like to do is to focus on the main idea being helping people to become aware of who they really are, their genuine feelings and thoughts and reactions in a situation. And we may use some of the Gestalt techniques in order to help sort of bring forth sort of Susan's true feelings about the situation that she's presenting here. So I'll be the therapist and Susan's the client. Hi Susan, how's it going today?
You know, it's okay. It's been like it's been.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Well, you know, I'm learning to be in this role of widow, and you know, I got up today and I got dressed and I'm here.
And I have terrible amnesia, Susan. Is this our first meeting together, or have we been?
No, we've met.
Okay. So anyways, your husband suicided how long ago now?
It's been 6 months.
Okay, so at least you're able to get up and get going. And I know some of the stuff that we've been working on has been kind of helping you to really understand how you feel about this, what your reactions are. What have you been noticing this week?
Well, I noticed that I still exist, you know, that I haven't disappeared or anything. I'm still here and I go, and this occupies most of my thoughts still.
Okay.
And I'm not sure how to live this role. I knew what it was like to be a mother and to be a wife and what I thought the role of a widow was, but I don't know how to do this.
And when you talk about you don't know how to live this role, you almost sound like it's a part of the play that you're supposed to adopt and do well.
I think that is right. Well, I can see the part of a person who has lost a spouse to cancer. You know, they're noble and people come around and give them casseroles and things like that, and you're sorrowful and you miss them. This isn't like that. This is not like that.
If instead of being the role that's written, you know, grieving widow who's lost a husband to cancer, widow whose husband has taken his own life in your circumstance, if someone said, you don't have to be the role, there is no part, be who you are. Tell me, as you wake up in the morning, what are you emotionally, what's going on inside of you?
I don't think I would be, you know, still mourning. I don't think I would still be sitting in the mourning state. I don't know if that makes any sense. I would be up and doing and being who I was before, not trying to be the sad, grief-stricken.
Okay, and again, I hear in your language, I hear I would be doing and instead of being, and kind of like there's this part that you're supposed to be playing. If you just right now in the room, pay attention to how you are feeling instead of how you should be feeling or how someone might think a widow should be acting. What's going on right now inside your body?
I feel tense and angry and like I have been done wrong.
Okay, when you talk about feeling tense, how does your body let you know you're tense?
I get a lot of tension here.
Okay.
And I think my words are bitten off at the end. Irritable.
Okay. And when you feel angry, irritable, biting your words off. Tell me how you notice that. How do you know that that's your emotional state?
I think partly because I don't want to be around people, and when I am, I see how they react to me.
Okay. And sitting right here now, are you feeling
Yes.
some of that? And how is your body, how is your mind letting you know that you're feeling that now?
I feel rigid, intense.
Okay, and where do you feel that?
Right now I feel it in my legs.
Okay. Anywhere else?
I actually feel it kind of everywhere. I don't feel natural. I don't know, I feel very stiff.
Okay, if you drew a picture of natural, if you could just sort of act out with your body right now, if you were as natural as you could be, describe what that would look like or show me what that would look like.
I would be more lively and colorful, and I would be more expressive with what I say and how I say that with my body.
Okay. And could you act that out briefly? Could you show me what that would look like?
Well, I'm normally just more demonstrative and, more humorous and use my body to express what I'm trying to say.
And something is
Yes.
holding you rigid, biting your words, tying you down.
Mhm.
If you drew a picture of that, what would that look like?
Like a board.
Like a board. And like you are a board or you are?
And I think that there are some cracks in the board. The board's kind of snap.
Okay. So this is gonna sort of break.
Something.
Okay. And you were talking about, when you talk about the anger, sort of where, does that have a direction? Is there something or someone that you?
Oh, I'm angry at him.
Okay,
I don't have a whole lot of question about that.
okay,
Sometimes I get angry at other people because I think they look at me as if I'm not being, the sorrowful widow like I should be.
okay. And as you're angry at him, are there things that you've thought of if he could come back that you might want to say to him or share with him?
Yeah.
And I notice when
You know,
when you say this, you get tense. I'm wondering, are you holding things back as you say that?
Probably. He got to leave this letter that said what he wanted to say in the end. But I don't have a means to to respond to that. He made the last statement, he made the last action, and now I'm left here.
If he could be brought back, would you like an opportunity to share with him what's going on with you, how this has been for you this 6 months?
Yeah,
How are you at imagining things?
pretty good.
Sometimes it can be helpful with people when they have a term that gets used, if you ever read any books on Gestalt therapy, is unfinished business. And clearly when anyone dies, but particularly a sudden death and especially often a suicide, there's a lot of unfinished business. And there's no way that you can have a conversation with your husband if you believe in heaven or hell. If you end up in the same place, I suppose you could, but barring that, here on earth you can't. Sometimes what we'll have clients do is I'll vacate this chair and you sort of visualize that you were here and that you could have a conversation with him and you could tell him how you feel and how this has been for you, or whatever, say whatever's on your mind.
Okay. I think I can imagine those things. I feel uncomfortable in letting things out. I feel intimidated by this to some degree. I think partly because I think some of these things are private things. But I understand what you want me to do here.
And is it something that at least you're worth exploring and seeing if it's helpful?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it as well as I'm supposed to, but I can try.
And again, it seems to me that in our work together, one of the things that we need to focus on is, it sounds like you have a real strong sort of set of roles in your head for who it's important for you to be. So you're worried that you won't do this as well as you're supposed to do. And so I'm wondering if you're worried about my response to this, me being disappointed or something.
No, I'm not, it's not that. I think I'm just afraid of what I'll say.
How about if we give it a try, and then we
Okay.
can talk about it a little bit afterwards, okay?
Okay.
So how about if I move out and you imagine, and your husband's name again?
Joe.
Joe. Okay, how about if you imagine that Joe is sitting here? And if, I'll just sort of be in the sidelines, and if you want some assistance, let me know.
Okay.
Let me know when you're finished.
Okay, and so I'm supposed to tell him what I would say if he came back and knew the state he has left me in.
Yeah. If he were here and you could just share some of your experiences, if you could tell him, if you were granted 20 or 30 minutes to share with him your thoughts and feelings.
Well, I really wish that you could come and see the mess that you have left us in. I cannot believe that you would honestly think that leaving us with a big insurance policy payoff was going to solve all of our problems. Do you know what it's like now to be a 35-year-old widow with $1 million? No husband, lots of problems, kids that have no idea what to do with themselves that are now young men. I have this house, I have money, I have nothing else. I don't have a life anymore. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to start dating people? I just don't understand how you thought this would solve anything, and how you could just check out and leave me with all this mess to clean up. And there literally was a mess to clean up. I know that someone who has lost a spouse should be sad and mournful that you're gone. And in some ways, I hate you. And I hate you for doing this to me. And sometimes I wish you were here so I could hurt you physically, even though you already did that. This was just wrong. It was the wrong thing to do to me. I don't think I can do more than that.
Okay. And just briefly, how was that for you? What was that experience like?
In some ways, I feel sort of ashamed that I feel that way. But at the same time, I can't say that anywhere else. Nobody would understand that. You can't, in terms of playing a part for people, there is a part that people perceive that a widow is supposed to fulfill. And it is not someone who is angry and hateful towards the person who is gone. And so how do you say that to people? So I have to carry it around. I can't say that to the children. I mean, they're in their 20s. They're still around, but they're young men. How do I say that? I can't say that to them about their father.
And so maybe what we need to kind of focus on in our work, in our continuing work together, is how can you take care of your own needs? How can you be aware of what your own needs are and share what you need to share and be, it sounds like a part of you thinks it's important to sort of play the roles that you're expected, and yet a part of you is extremely uncomfortable because that's not who you are. Mm-hmm. And so how can you reconcile those so that you can be yourself and not feel completely artificial, mm-hmm. and yet not blow everybody away, mm-hmm. Around you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's plan on going there.
Okay.
All